All right, guys, welcome back to another video. What we want to start doing here is we want to do a kind of a series of videos to show y'all exactly what we're doing from the very beginning. So from right after we purchased this field of land, like what steps have we taken? And today we're going to show you how we started building the entrance and how we started trying to kind of figure out how we're even going to access this place, because there's no driveway, there's no road, there's nothing. So as we kind of go back in time a little bit, understand this is several months old, and you'll see me probably wearing different things because it happens on different days and at different times, but we're kind of trying to piece together the story for you guys of how all of this came to be. So check this out and we'll show you kind of how we got started and what our very, very first steps were out here towards the road.
All right, today we are out here on the front of our property, and when I say the front, I just mean the part that has the road frontage with it, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But you can see out in the distance here's where our property goes back, and it goes back about 15 or 1600 feet that direction, and here on the road front is about 350 feet, and those are all rough numbers, of course. But here's the fence that we've built to put up so far, and as you can see, there's nothing out here at all. So some of the things that we're starting to work on now is right over here between the fence and the road. We're going to have our water meter put in right here, and you can see this is just off the road. There's a pretty steep shoulder that drops off of the road there. So, you know, kind of planning how to do all this, get a driveway in here and all of that. It's kind of tricky with some of the elevation changes and stuff, but we're going to have the water meter put in here, which is on this far end of the property. And just kind of as we walk down this way, I want to show you a couple of things. We had originally thought that we were going to put our turn in right here, and you can see where we braced the fence up to do that, but we decided to change it, and that's fine. We're just going to leave that, and down on the other end is where it's actually going to be, but we'll walk down that way and I'll show you. And out this way to my left and directly in front of the camera is, of course, our field where we'll build our nursery, build our home, build our everything. And right here to my left, once you cross the fence, it drops off abruptly down in there, and I'll show you that as we get down in here in just a second. But as we get down towards this end, our property access is pretty bad, and there's never been a home out here. There's never been, you know, a mobile home out here or anything like that. So access here is pretty bad, and it'd be easy for a car, a truck, whatever, to turn in here off of the road and get stuck really easy. So we're going to have to do something about that.
And if anybody knows about getting stuck in this exact spot in the rain, it would be me, because the very first time I ever came to even look at this place, I turned off the road right here at this entrance, and I actually got stuck in the rain that day, and I had to walk down the road to probably 4 or 5 houses, door knocking, looking for somebody who could come pull me out. So yeah, I'm that guy.
You can see the little entry here that this is only about 12 feet wide. And when you're talking about building an entrance to a nursery where we hope to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people coming in, having big delivery trucks come in, it's just not much. So we're going to have all of this reworked and have this pipe extended well down this direction. So this is more like 25 or 30 feet wide at the entrance, and have gravel put all the way into this entrance. This is a really wide gate that we built here. It's about 26 feet wide. We want 2 cars to be able to come in at the same time, be able to pass each other, and just be able to have plenty of room to come in here and access this. So let's get over here on the other side. So this is where I was just showing you the turn in. We've positioned the camera down there just to show you a different angle, but I'm turning in here off the road, and this kind of comes a little bit of a downhill. There's some old gravel to about right there, and after that it's just dirt, mud, whatever. It's been raining a lot. But once you come in through here, we're going to have the drive-in, the entranceway, turn to the left, which is this direction, and this just kind of tapers downhill coming in here. So we're going to have all of this graveled in and have a nice large area on out this way where we'll build our nursery and put our shade houses, our parking area, and that type of thing. And as we've come over to this, this is a 6-acre property here, and we're going to be working on about 1 acre to 1.5 acres out here towards the road. This is where all of our beginnings are going to be. We're going to come up with a trailer or some kind of house to live in right here, kind of out close to the nursery, and eventually way out in the back of the field we'll build a house and expand other things we want to do out that way. But for now, we've got to get going out here close to the road so we can begin growing plants, selling plants, and making money so we can have means to live off of. So this is kind of our plan here in the beginning, getting everything started.
And wow, looking back on that is really amazing for me, because I just remember how much has gone into this and the transformation that is taking place. And every time I see kind of a before and after video or a before and after photo, I'm blown away at what's happened, and we're just getting started. So it's pretty amazing sharing this with you guys, and this is as much for our documentation purposes personally as it is for sharing it with you. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see the progress that's happening out here. Well, all right, folks, it's been a couple of weeks since I was last out here. Check this out as we see the brand new entrance here, a little culvert pipe put in, a nice 22, I think, foot wide entrance heading back down into our gate. And you can just kind of see our road here as it was built all the way out to where we'll begin building shade houses and putting in irrigation and all the rest. Man, when I got to the gate this morning and pulled in here, so excited I couldn't hardly stand it. Just seeing that we can actually drive out here now without getting stuck and having a place to park, even if it's rained recently, and just kind of seeing how all this is going to take shape. And by the way, this is what 1 million pounds of gravel looks like. About 500 tons have been brought in here, and maybe a little bit under that, but man, it's a lot of gravel. And you can just kind of see in the distance there, it goes down out to the corner, and then across that way is about 120 feet that way, and then it's about 80 feet wide coming back this direction. So about 8,000 square feet out here for just the immediate pad itself, not counting the road, not counting the entrance way up there. So now our next step is beginning to put the foundation post in place for building what will be our first shade house out here. And I'm going to start that today, and I'm going to kind of lay out some measurements out here and begin marking off space for a 20-foot by 40-foot shade house. And it'll be the first thing we have out here. Once the weather warms up in the spring, plants will be ready to go, and they require a whole lot less babysitting if they're in a shade house, because they don't dry out so fast. The sun's not so harsh on them once it gets warm and all of that. So that'll be a permanent setup for us here, and we're going to start it right back there near that corner. So we'll come this way 20 feet and we'll go out that way 40 feet with it. So what is that? I think 800 square feet will be our first shade house, and that will be built so that it could be made longer. I mean, we could make it 100 feet long if we wanted to later on. So that's what we're doing today. And as I'm starting to put some of these posts in the ground, I will show you what that looks like as we go. And I've never done one like this, so I'm learning as I go, but it'll be a learning process for me, that's for sure. So here we go. And using those two words, learning process, boy, that is a huge, huge understatement. Think of it this way, not in a far-fetched way, but in what we are actually doing. Every single thing that we're doing out here, whether it's building a driveway, building a shade house, dealing with utilities and running water lines, and everything that we're doing out here, this is all brand new to us, and I'm learning on the fly. We are learning on the fly every single thing that we're doing. So you guys are going to see us do things through our videos, and you're going to say, what in the world are they doing, or why did they do that way, or they're doing that wrong? Well, it's because we don't know what we're doing, and we're trying to figure all of this out as we go. So Yeah, it's a learning process, but it is an enjoyable and fun one, and we are thankful that you guys are along with us for the ride on this. Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all watching as always. I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.